Okay, guys, hello. Welcome to Learn Yakut Language, aka Sakha. Today we're doing lesson 5 of this book. I will not introduce the entire name of the book every time now because it is in the description and in the link. If you use the link to get the PDF, you have to backspace the spaces before .com. Because I cannot post links because I am not in the know. I'm not in the club. I am just a small fry in the internet posting world. So let's go into it. Bihis urok. So you'll notice bies is 5, bihis is fifth. Urok comes from the Russian word urok. Urak or urok. My Russian is minimal. But in Sakha urok. Bihis urok. Talar vocabulary words. I will highlight this time. I will try to make it easier to follow along. I will highlight the words as well. Ağa, children, or child, pardon. Ağa, child. Ağalar, children. Ağalar, children. Erkihi, man, man, man. Erkihi, man. Jahtar, woman. Jahtar, woman. Ağanyar, ağanyar, old man. Eder, young. Eder, young. John, people. John, people. Ulahan John, big person, big people, aka adults. Urech, urech, studies. Kipsit, to converse. Kipsit, to converse, to make conversation. Emersil, old lady. Emersil, old lady. At, name. At, name. Ata, his name or her name. Ata, his name or her name. Kortagas, old, adjective. Kortagas, old, adjective. Arta, if I can highlight it, middle. Arta, middle. Urduku, high. Urduku. I feel like I said that really Norwegian. I study too many languages. But yeah, you have the U sound. Urduku. High. High is in high level, like high up on the mountain. All right. Keheng, evening, adjective. Keheng, evening, adjective. Today we will look in the grammar at the plurals. Okay. Um. So when we're doing plural, like in English, we add an S. In Sakha, we add primarily, initially, we add lar, ler, lor, or lur. And that is to match the um, vowel harmony, match the vowels. So parta, for multiple ones, we would say partalar. Kirigeler, we will say, kirige, book, we will say kirigeler, books. Ağalar is from ağa, ağalar, bürü, bürülür. And then if it ends in a k, pa, sa, ta, or kha, then we will add tar, ter, tor, tur. Hradastar, tunukter, ahoktor, utuktur. Manor houses. It says that utuktur means manor houses. I was like, what is that? I imagine maybe some old English style house. She lives on the manor, right? But that means it could mean that, I guess, but it's also in Yakutia, apparently, according to the dictionary, it refers to these old big estates that were built over there and then abandoned the post-Soviet era, I guess. So, but it could also refer to a farmhouse, like a house on a farm. Okay. If you have a word that ends in y or re, then you will add dar, der, dar, or dur. So we have sarai dar, uchige der. So you could also put it after adjectives, similar to some European languages, but not English. Tom tar dar, kutur dur. Okay. We don't have the meaning for all the words, but right now we're just learning the rule. You'll get more words in the lesson, in the vocabulary, in the sentences. Nasal consonants, which are m, da, or n, are going to add nar, ner, nor, or nur. So we will have anar, tinger, oranor, budun, budung, budunur, right? Okay. So the affix lar and its forms form the plural of both nouns and adjectives. It also forms the plural of the third person present tense verb, meaning he or she, right? He or well, meaning they or them. They, they did something. We'll also add lar. Okay, and so in that case, the terminal r is assimilated and transferred into a l. So what that basically means is, okay, we have tur and we add ar, turar. But then if we add lar, it's too difficult to say turar lar. So we end up turning the r at the end of r into an L2. So we end up adding alar, and we get turalar. Keler adds ler, it becomes kereler. Oloror adds lor, and becomes oloror. That's a hard one, right? Oloror. So there's two L's, right? Ora, ora, ororor, 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 ororor. There you go. Just practice. I used to struggle with those words. Okay. Kurur, ilzak bil kurulur. Not too hard. So they stand, they come. You will have eller, allar, instead of just ar, er. Okay. Um, if the subject has the plural form, the predicate takes that form as well. So, for instance, aga sudwiyar, child writes, and agalar sudwiyallar, so children write. In English, we just don't add anything to the verb. In that case, in Sakha, we add the plural to the noun and to the verb. Okay. Ahach ulahan, the stove is big. Ahach tar ulahanar, the stoves are bigs. The stoves are big. I hope that makes sense. Okay, and you'll notice, let me see. No, sometimes when you add endings, it'll change the consonant that ends, like we had with turar, turalar, but I don't think we have any other examples of that here. We'll see that more in following lessons. Okay, so then we have these sentences here. Sovietskaya Soyuzka Kihi Barata Ureder. So Soviet Union N, because we have Ka, Soyuzka. Person, all, study. Everybody in the Soviet Union studies. Okay, this is, remember, it's adapted from an older book and updated to the modern language and some modern cultural themes, but you still have some references to the time period. So, bare, you already learned, means all or everybody. Bareta, I would translate to it all, like every single person. If someone has a better translation for that, they can let me know, but that's how I would conceptualize it. Kura agalar nachalnai askolaga uredeller. Kura agalar nachalnai askolaga uredeller. Small children, elementary school at study. Remember, notice we have ler at the end. It's plural because it's children, not child. You saw in some sentences in the previous lessons that you would have a plural without the plural indicated, and that is sometimes possible, but in this case, with like a regular verb, you will have the plural. Okay? Ulahal oralar wanna ederjon orta askualaga tek teknikumga urtuku askualaga öğrenirler. Now that's a longish one. Fear not. So, big children, so like bigger kids, not babies, and young people, edirjon, orta askualaga. So you learned orta means middle, so middle school at technicum is like a technical school, a tech school, a trade school at the technicum. And ortuku askualaga. So you learned ortuku means high, so high school, just like we say in English. At study. Okay. So the bigger kids and the young adults, young people, they study at middle schools, tech schools, and high schools. Kiehengi askualaga ulahanjon ureneler. Okay, so you notice we had ulahan agalar, big kids, ulahanjon, big people, so adults. So evening, you noticed evening was an adjective. Why would evening be an adjective? Evening school. In English, we usually say night school, even if it's like 6, 7 p.m. Okay, so at the evening school, adult study. Um, yeah. Onna erkihi jahtar onna kordagas dagane urenerle. Oh, sorry. Urener. That was the plural one. Anda erkihi jahtar wanna kordagas dagane urener. 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 Yeah. Okay. So there, men, man, woman, and old. Dagade you saw before after two things. Something dagade to mean both this and that, both men and women. Here we have three things listed. And then dagade, so in this case it's like, it could be said like all, each, perhaps. So there, man, woman, and elderly, the elderly, each study, all study. Each of those groups study there. Okay? Bu jahtar kehengi askualaga urener. This woman, evening school at studies. This woman studies at at a night school. Kini ata sayana. This one you might not get before I tell you. What do you think is kini ata sayana? So kini, he or she, at name, ata his or her name. It was a jahtar, so we know it's she. So her name, so we don't have a word for her. Instead, we use she or he, same word, and then after the noun that is being possessed. Kini ata, and you'll see that with other words too. This ending, okay. So her name is Sayana. Iti erkihi emye onna urener. So this, or the, man also their studies. Kini ata keskil. His name is Keskil. Bu askualaga sahalı wana nuchalı öğrenirler. So this school at Sakha and Russian study. So they, and it's plural. So they study Yakut and Russian at this school. All 어간열 노차르 üçügedik kipsetir. That old man, Russian, well, conversates. So that old man speaks Russian well. He makes Russian conversation. He's good at Russian conversation. Okay. Ebersin emye luchalı bilir. Old woman also Russian knows. So the old woman, or yeah, we could translate the old woman also knows Russian. Here we have answer the questions. You can answer the questions if you want. We'll just read through them to understand them, and then if you want, you can answer them yourself. They are based on this text. Urech. Okay. Oh, and you'll notice urech. What do you think that means? You can tell me in the comments. That is related to urener, ureneler, right? Studies. So urech. What do you think that means? Okay. Hanna kihi bare ureneri, 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 ureneri. Okay. So where person or people all study, and you have e at the end for the question ending. Kura, oga, hanna, ureneri, ureneri. Yeah. So small children where study. Ulahan oga, wanna, ederkihi, hanna, urener. So you notice there's no question ending there. Um, I mentioned before, but I asked native speakers and they told me there's no rule. Um, so often you will have the question ending, but sometimes not. And if I discover some magic rule about it, uh, I will tell you. But as far as I can tell, you usually use the question ending if you don't have something else. Um, but yeah, yeah, otherwise, if you say it or see it with no question ending, then it's fine too. Okay. Olahan aga wanna ederkihi hanna urenir. So big kids and young people wear study. Olahan kihi hanna urenir. Big people, so that's similar to Ulahan John. Hanna urenir, where study. So where do adults study? Where do more grown people study? Kiehangi askualaga kim urederi. So evening school at who studies? Bu chaktar atakibi. This woman names what? The name is who? Literally, we're saying who is her name? And that is something you will be familiar with if you study Kazakh or Mongolian. Think a lot of Turkic languages and languages related to or connected to in some way uh, are considered. Will use this kib or some version of who to ask someone's name. Okay, Mongolian we say like Tunidir Khedbe Khel is kib. Okay, anyway. So what's this woman's name? Itikihi Atakibi. So the person or this person, name who? What is this person's name? Okay. Here's the composed sentences. You can do these exercises if you like. See the book if you don't want to go off the video. Rewrite in the plural form. Pronounce the following words. That's just for practice for pronunciation. And then also, this is a lot of exercises in this one, so really it's up to you. Do you want to do it? You can do it. Translate into Sakha. So these sentences are based on the previous lessons. So if you understand the previous lessons, you should be able to translate this into Sakha. You You could do it out loud, or you could do it in your, writing down on paper. All right, that's all for today. I will not make it lengthy, and I will see you next time for lesson 6. Bye.